The Phenomenal One isn't just a nickname anymore, it's a tragic irony. Look at his face. The man who has flown through the air, defied gravity, and conquered every major promotion on the planet is standing in the center of the ring, not with a championship, but with a confession that has shattered his entire legacy. AJ Styles just revealed a secret so shocking, so deeply personal, that the 20,000 screaming fans in attendance fell into a silence that was colder than any winter night. This isn't just about a wrestler, this is about a man who carried a burden heavier than any championship belt, a burden that is finally crushed him tonight. By the time this video ends, you will understand the true cost of greatness, the sacrifice made for our entertainment, and why the phenomenal life of AJ Styles was always built on a foundation of pain. This isn't just a moment, it's a revelation that will echo through the halls of wrestling history forever. Before we dive into the raw, emotional truth of what just happened, I want to take a moment to talk to you, the SLAMZONE family. We've been through so much together. We've celebrated the highs and commiserated through the lows. Moments like this, they remind us why we love this business, why it grips our hearts so tightly. It's more than just a show, it's a connection to human stories, to struggle, and to triumph. If AJ Styles has ever inspired you, if his matches have ever made you feel alive, then you are exactly where you belong. Please, if you feel the emotion I'm feeling right now, take a second to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video. Your support truly means the world, and it allows us to continue bringing you these heartfelt, honest breakdowns. We're all in this together. The arena tonight felt different from the moment the doors opened. There was a low hum, a nervous energy that vibrated in the air. The fans weren't just excited, they were anticipating something beyond the usual thrills. When AJ Styles' music hit, that iconic Get Ready to Fly anthem, the roar was deafening, but it felt fragile. He walked out, not with his usual swagger, but with a solemn, almost heavy step. His eyes, usually burning with intensity, held a distant, haunted look. He wasn't dressed to compete, he was dressed in a simple black t-shirt, jeans, and his signature gloves. He carried no championship, no mic, just the weight of the world on his shoulders. He stood in the center of the ring, the spotlight isolating him, making him seem even smaller against the vast backdrop of the arena. He took a deep breath, and you could hear the tremor in it even before he spoke. He reached for a microphone, his hand shaking ever so slightly. He looked up at the hard camera, not with the usual defiant glare, but with a plea. For 30 years, he began, his voice surprisingly soft, I've given you everything. Every bump, every high-flying move, every championship, it was for you. The crowd responded with a sympathetic wave of applause, but AJ quickly silenced them with a raised hand. No, please, don't clap yet. Because for 30 years, I've also lied to you. The arena went silent. You could hear the faint buzz of the camera lights, the distant chatter from backstage, but in the bowl of the arena, it was absolutely still. AJ took another deep, shuddering breath. He looked down at his hands, then back up at the crowd, his eyes glistening. My entire career, everything I've ever accomplished, has been a fight against myself. Against something I've carried since I was a child. He paused, and you could feel the tension building, the collective breath of 20,000 people held captive. I have suffered from severe, debilitating anxiety and depression for my entire adult life. The gasp that ripped through the audience was visceral. It wasn't a cheer, it wasn't a boo, it was the sound of a collective heartbreaking. Imagine that. The Phenomenal One, the fearless risk-taker, the man who has stared down giants and conquered kings, revealing such a profound, human vulnerability. It was staggering. He continued, his voice growing stronger, fueled by raw emotion. Every time I stepped through that curtain, every single time, it was an internal war. The lights, the noise, the pressure, it wasn't just adrenaline. It was a panic attack waiting to happen. There were nights I couldn't get out of bed. Nights I couldn't look my own children in the eye because the darkness was too heavy. He paced slowly, tracing the lines of the ring with his boots, each step carrying the weight of decades of hidden struggle. That intensity you saw in my eyes? That wasn't just focus. It was sheer, unadulterated terror that I was going to fail, that I was going to let you down. The high-flying moves, the risks, they weren't just about showing off. Sometimes they were a way to feel something other than the crushing weight of my own mind. A woman in the front row openly wept, her face buried in her hands. You could see men wiping tears from their eyes. This wasn't a character speaking, this was a human being, stripped bare, pouring out his soul. I remember one night, he continued, his voice cracking with emotion, before a WrestleMania main event. The biggest match of my career. I was locked in the bathroom, shaking, unable to breathe. My wife, my amazing wife, she had to talk me down, remind me why I was there. Remind me that I was stronger than the demons in my head. The silence was punctuated by a few choked sobs from the crowd, a symphony of shared pain and empathy. This was not a promotional stunt. This was real. This was the raw, unvarnished truth of a man who had lived a double life in front of millions. I've spent years trying to hide it, trying to be the Phenomenal One, the unshakable warrior. Because who wants to cheer for someone who's constantly fighting a war within themselves? Who wants to believe in a hero who struggles to get out of bed in the morning? He scoffed, a bitter, self-deprecating laugh that hurt more than any punch. But the truth is, I can't hide it anymore. I don't want to hide it anymore. I need to take a moment here, because my voice is shaking just recounting this. If you are feeling the power of AJ's words, if you are connecting with his incredibly brave confession, please hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. We are witnessing something truly historic, and we need to process this together. What a moment. What an unbelievably brave, humbling moment. AJ Styles, the man we always saw as invincible, just revealed a vulnerability that makes him even more of a hero. He continued to speak, his voice gaining a new kind of strength, not the strength of a wrestler, but the strength of a survivor. I've been going to therapy for the last year. I've been on medication. And I finally started to understand that it's okay not to be okay. That it's okay to ask for help. He looked directly into the camera, his eyes now shining not with tears, but with a fierce, quiet determination. If there is anyone out there watching this right now, anyone who feels like they are fighting a battle in their own mind, alone, please, know that you are not alone. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to get help. Even the phenomenal one needs help sometimes. The arena erupted. It wasn't a cheer for a finishing move or a championship win. It was a roar of respect, of understanding, of collective relief. It was the sound of a community embracing one of its own, not for his athletic prowess, but for his raw, courageous honesty. People were on their feet, not just applauding, but chanting AJ, 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 a chant that had taken on an entirely new meaning. He wiped a tear from his eye, a genuine, human tear. This isn't a retirement speech, he clarified, and another ripple of emotion went through the crowd. This is just me telling you the truth. For the first time, truly, authentically, me. Then came the unexpected moment that truly elevated this entire confession. As AJ stood there, basking in the love and understanding of the crowd, the lights in the arena slowly began to change. The harsh, bright white of the ring lights softened, bathing the entire arena in a warm, supportive glow. And then, without any fanfare, without any music, several figures emerged from the back. It wasn't his fellow wrestlers. It was a group of mental health advocates, doctors, and therapists, all wearing simple t-shirts that said, "You are not alone." They walked calmly into the ring, not surrounding AJ, but standing beside him, a silent testament to the support system he had finally embraced. One woman, a therapist, gently placed her hand on his shoulder, a gesture of quiet solidarity. AJ looked at them, a small, genuine smile gracing his lips, the first true, relaxed smile we had seen all night. He didn't say anything more. He didn't need to. The image of the phenomenal one, the wrestling icon, standing with real-life heroes who help people fight unseen battles, spoke volumes. It transformed his personal revelation into a public message of hope and support. This wasn't just a wrestler's confession, it was a cultural moment. It was AJ Styles using his immense platform, not for self-promotion, but for the greater good. He risked everything: his image, his mystique, the carefully crafted persona, to break the stigma surrounding mental health in a way no one else in wrestling ever has. He then took a moment to look out at the crowd, absorbing their support. He simply nodded, a silent acknowledgement of the connection he had just forged. He pointed to the "You Are Not Alone" shirts worn by the advocates, a final, powerful message. Then, with a deep breath, he walked out of the ring, not a vanquished warrior, but a triumphant survivor. The crowd remained on its feet, applauding long after he disappeared backstage. This was not the end of a career, it was the beginning of a new chapter, not just for AJ Styles, but for countless people who now know that even their heroes struggle, and even their heroes find strength in vulnerability. What a moment. This is where legends are made, not by championships, but by courage. AJ Styles just proved that true strength isn't about never falling, it's about having the bravery to stand up and say, "I need help." As we close out this incredibly emotional broadcast, I want to thank you, the SLAMZONE family, for being here, for sharing this moment with me. It's a powerful reminder of the human stories behind the characters we cheer for. If AJ's message resonated with you tonight, if you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. And if you've been moved by this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. Your support means we can continue to bring you these important, emotional discussions. This is SLAMZONE, and tonight, we witnessed a phenomenal revelation that will inspire generations. Until next time, stay safe, stay strong, and remember, you are never alone.